Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Discovery Bay in Hong Kong, China. We are in DV Ice Rink. My name is Scott Yang, and on behalf of the Hong Kong China Ice Hockey Association and the IIHF, we welcome you to the 2026 IIHF Ice Hockey Women's World Championships Division 2 Group B. This is the second game of today, and we welcome you to the game between New Zealand and Ukraine. Let's welcome the players onto the ice. Referees for today, Cynthia Kaman, and the linespersons, Daniela Egger and Amy Cagers from the Netherlands. Ukraine and New Zealand. Ukraine with an average age of 20 years old, a relatively young team for the tournament. And they'll be up against a much more experienced team in New Zealand, 25 years of age on average. And the teams are very comparable in terms of size. Both teams on average 5'6" or 166 centimeters. This is a clash of styles between a disciplined Ice Burns and a high-flying Ukrainian squad. New Zealand is traditionally a powerhouse in this division. They were second place in last year's tournament. But they were stunned by the hosts yesterday, by the host Hong Kong, China. They had a lot of chances, but they struggled to make the finish. And they actually did outshoot Hong Kong in certain stretches. Goalie Lachlan Henry is a wall, and we'll look forward to seeing her rebound in this game. And for Ukraine, an upset win over top-seeded Mexico yesterday, and they will play with immense speed and emotion, and hopefully to win their second game of the tournament. Players to watch: Polina Skorotkot for Ukraine with 2 goals yesterday, and Darya Chimirenko. It's their transition game that's the biggest weapon for Ukraine. And when they turn defensive zone turnovers into on-man rushes, they can be very lethal. In 3 periods of 20 minutes, 8 just started. Ukraine in their traditional golden or yellow uniform jerseys, and the Ice Burns, the New Zealanders, in the traditional all-black jerseys. A huge turnout like yesterday for New Zealand fans, most of them in all blacks. And here comes New Zealand with a breakout on their own. Malari on the right side, rebound. This one saved by the goalie. Great offensive chance by New Zealand. Here's a little trip, and immediately the arms went up. The referee, Cynthia, come on. very early in the game, and we have already our first penalty of the game. It's going to be a tripping call on number 15, Hope Gregory of New Zealand. Gregory had a strong game yesterday alongside with many of their players. Very solid defensively. But yesterday night they were beaten by the host Hong Kong China, a surprising win for Hong Kong China, I must say. Ukraine with the power play, but a shot through traffic, this one blocked by the goalie. Kirichenko controlling the blue line, feeds it to her right. Skating around, number 12, Manchak, the best player on the team, in my very humble personal opinion. Valeria Manchak, number 12, playing in the United States of America in the WWIIB. Demonstrated yesterday her strength and her personal skills. Very complete all-around player. Here comes Ukraine with a sharp angle shot from the left side. Shooting is number 14, Chimerenko. We talked about her as one of the main offensive threats. Here is another great save by the goalie. Shot on the right side by Ukraine. Minute 13 remaining in the power play, and now New Zealand coming out on the right side. Kelly Nelson, another solid performer yesterday. I remember she was, correct me if I'm wrong, she was the best player of the game for New Zealand yesterday night against Hong Kong China. Ukraine still 45 seconds remaining in the power play. Here's Manchak on the right side. Manchak moving in. Nice move, cutting in across the crease. The puck went through, but Manchak didn't. She was impeded by a New Zealand defender. The 24, La Patina. Feeds it back to Manchak. A long shift for these Ukraine players. Two of them goes for a change, while Manchak remains on ice. Clearly their top offensive threat, and now Manchak goes for a change as well as the penalty is going to expire. Sherbango shot, one times far end. The goalie made the save. Goalie for New Zealand, number 20, Brianne Bick. First time we see her in action today in this tournament. That's it for the power play. Lopatina to Alipova. Back to Lopatina with the puck. Sends it, banks it up the boards to Likovcic. Szymanska. Plays brought all the way back to the Ukrainian zone. 16 and a half minutes to go in the opening period of the game. High-paced game so far with both teams. And now Caitlin Hollier comes in on the right side, wide shot. Corner pass goal goes and pick up the rebound. Corner pass goal on the left side with a shot. This one almost gloved down by the goalie for Ukraine. Corner pass goal on the right side, being bumped into the boards. Cross ice pass to Verno, number 5. Maria calls up, moving into the slot with a high shot. This one wide. Rebound picked up by number 18, Orr. Corner pass goal with a shot. This one also deflected behind the net. Centering pass. Ukraine playing good defense. Regaining puck possession. And pushing it up is number 9, Rozok, the younger defender on the team. Ukraine's defenders go for a change. New Zealand looking good so far early this game, recovering from their loss from yesterday night. Here comes number 10, Skorot Cod on the right side. Shot deflected into the corner. New Zealand trying to get it out of their own zone, and Ukraine keeps it in. Number 15, Nesterenko on the left side. Banks it out the board around the rink. New Zealand picks it up but unable to clear it out of their own zone. Ukraine dumps it back in. Nesterenko pinning the New Zealand defender into the boards. But Hannah Cross gets out alongside with the puck. IIHF 4 brings it out of their own zone, still unable to bring it out. Here comes New Zealand, number 7, Anjali Murari on the right side. Murari dumps it in for an offside play. The teammates needed to get back into the neutral zone to clear offside. Kipria backhands it into the offensive zone for a change. Manchak, Ukraine's top threat with a centering pass. Kirichenko with the puck. Shoots, deflected right in front of the goalie. Simerenko to Manchak. Manchak to Kirichenko. Down low to Szymanska. New Zealand moving it up. A little lacking in terms of speed when you compare them with Ukraine. The speed of Ukraine might become a problem for New Zealand. But we've seen New Zealand yesterday's game. They do have defenders with huge slap shots. They could utilize these huge slap shots from the blue line. They could penetrate the Ukraine defense a lot easier. Right now we see Ukraine play very disciplined. Here's Ukraine, a very skilled and technical team trying to break through. Alipova on the right side. New Zealand, corner pass goal to Nelson. Nelson with a long shot, gives a glove down by the Ukrainian goalie. Juliana Vilhan played a tremendous game yesterday and she is back for more today. Johan with another save. A good spirited game we have here. Both teams lively play. Face up in the Ukraine zone with New Zealand fans chanting for the team. Let's go Ice Ferns. Let's go, I think. I heard they needed to chant a little louder for me to hear. Hopefully that's an incentive for their fans to shout a little louder and to give more support for their team. We also do have Ukrainian representation in the audience in the stands. A battle along the boards. A reminder in the women's ice hockey, there is no checking, a non-contact ice hockey game here. So we often see players avoiding the hit or avoiding collision into each other is they do not play the checking rule. New Zealand finding a footing near the halfway mark of the opening period. battle along the corners. Here comes Malari. Hangs it back for Gregory. Gregory flips it over to Malari and it connects. Malari goes in deep. In front of the net is Gregory, but Malari is pinned down onto the boards. Gregory bumped into the boards, loses possession. Nesterenko with a nice pass to Kipria. Kipria was brought down and the referee, Cynthia Kaman, decided to let the play go. Here is Manchak with the puck. 1 against 2. Another shot, and this one they score. With a nice rebound play. It's Ukraine 1, New Zealand 0. Here's Manchak with the initial shot being blocked, and coming up right after her came the rebound shot, and it's a 1-0 game for Ukraine, taking the lead early on. Ukraine currently ranked number 38 in last year's IIHF rankings. New Zealand 32. Here's Hemrick. A little trip there, and immediately the referee called it. Delayed penalty against Ukraine, and New Zealand will have their first power play of the game. Going into the box, number 4, Radmila Vedmentenko. A tripping call for 2 minutes. Shots on goal so far, Ukraine 7, New Zealand 3. This is the chance for New Zealand to come back onto even terms with Ukraine. Nice speed back to Hollier with a long shot. Malari getting closer. Shot, rebound, 2 rebounds, the 3rd rebound. All of them missed. Goalie made 2 great saves, and the 3rd one went high. Miraculous save by the goalie Vilhan keeps Ukraine in the game. Still a minute 20 remaining in the power play. Ukraine, New Zealand with the shot, blocker save by Vilhan. Malari with the rebound. Hoyer, Malari. Back to Hoyer on the right. No, back to Malari. Here comes number 21, Hannah Shields. Unable to keep the puck in possession, and they lose the puck. Both teams go for a change. And the gates here in DBI Spring is proving to be a trap for these teams. We've been seeing numerous too many player penalties over the last 4 games played. The teams will have to be extra careful when they make the change. Number 17, Lily DeVerno from behind the net. 28 seconds to go in the power play. Rebecca Lilly, another shot. Goalie gloved it down for a face-off in their own zone. Look at how deep the goalie Vilhan had to play to avoid all that traffic right in front of her. How low her stance is. And she was able to make quick moves. 8 more seconds to go in the power play. Here comes Lily to the left with a shot, and they score! A power play goal for New Zealand. It's a 1-1 tie. Nice power play goal. 2 passes. And a shot fired through traffic. I believe the goalie, Juliana Vilhan, did not see the puck clearly, at least not the first few nanoseconds of the shot. And now here comes Manchak for another goal. Ukraine answered back immediately, and it's a 2-1 game for Ukraine. And look at Manchak coming in with a clean shot over to the far side, top corner, nailing the goal. And it's 2-1 Ukraine. What a game we are watching here in Hong Kong, China. New Zealand catching up very nicely. Shots on goals are now 7-8. The New Zealand goal here is all a near goal, almost a sure goal. Kirichenko with a long shot. This one goalie steered it aside. Ukraine goal scored by number 12, Valeria Manchak. Just before that, it was just 6 seconds ago, the New Zealand power play goal by number 22, Horna Pascal, assisted by Kelly Nelson and Rebecca Lilly. Ukraine with another shot, saved by number 20, Brianne Bick, the goalie. For New Zealand, most of the team, all of them except for Nelson, Kelly Nelson. Kelly Nelson plays in Australia for the Melbourne Bucks, and for the rest of the team, they play in the New Zealand Women's League. A lot of teammates there. As for Ukraine, most of the players are playing all over the world, understandably. A couple of them in the North American system, and the rest spread across Europe. Players in Germany, Latvia, Italy, Slovakia, Sweden, just to name a few. Game. Number 7, Elisabeth Alipova. Moved the puck across the blue line. Now New Zealand clears it. Ukraine dumps it in, and it's an icing call against Ukraine. New Zealand gets it into the attacking zone. Kolesov gets it. Moved it back into the neutral zone. New Zealand tries again, this time on the right side. Nelson gets it into the slot, and we are going to have a penalty against the Ukrainian team, or is it all going to be on the New Zealand team? It's on New Zealand. There's a slight delay. going into the box is number 22, Kelly Nelson. And it's going to be a 2-minute power play for Ukraine and just 5.5 minutes to go in the opening period. Kirichenko on to the right with a huge one-timer by Manchak. Kirichenko with a slap shot of her own. This time hits a shin pad. Rebound by Manchak in front of the goal, and they score. What a beauty. That's quality goals here. And it's a fantastic goal scored by Ukraine. Look at the slapper right here. Manchak with a one-timer rebound. And then on the goalie's right side with the second rebound. And this time, no, it's a pass into the front of the net. And there's just absolutely nothing the goalie could do in this situation. And it's a 3-1 game for Ukraine. As a goalie myself, it's one of these goals where I feel really bad for the goalie because there's absolutely nothing they could do. There's so much lateral movement. And all you could say is, that was a good goal. You just can't blame your goalie for that one. It's Liani Goodman. Nestorenko shot, this one high, goalie had to move. It was deflected, the puck changed direction in midair. The goalie had to make a quick sudden change and make a blocker save. Under 4.5 minutes to go in the opening period. Ukraine controlling the offensive zone, moving into the slot. Love saved by Brienne Bick. You're seeing New Zealand being pressured. Their entire team is now crunching down a little bit towards their own net, and that leaves a lot of space for the Ukraine defenders along the blue line to become creative with the puck. That gives them options. It's probably something the New Zealand coach Mike Sam will pick up. Under 4 minutes to go. New Zealand with the puck in the offensive zone, but quickly puck was turned over to Ukraine. Hoyer behind their own net. Hoyer turns around, tries to send it back to Malari. Malari, Emma Kloss. Gave the puck away to Liskovic. A shot and a save by Brienne Bick. The score is still 3-1 for Ukraine. Shots on goals right now, 14-9 in favor of Ukraine. New Zealand with a nice pass there onto the right side. Nelson missed the pass and created a turnover for Ukraine. Ukraine moving in, number 3, Maria Koza. Puck stripped away by New Zealand. Koza finds the puck in the attacking zone, narrow goal shot. Goalie made a save. Puck bounced behind the net. With Ukraine corralled the rebound in the corner. Now 4 players fighting for the puck in the corner, coming out with it. It's New Zealand. 2.5 to go. Ukraine with a long shot. Brienne Bick with the save. Still a 2-goal game with Ukraine leading. Here is a it's a point blank range shot from Ukraine goalie. Had to move laterally, sliding on her butterfly slants to make the save. A short scrum in front of the net, but all is good. And there's an invalid face-off. One of the fans approached me and commented on how early the games ended yesterday. We were done around 10 o'clock local time. And one of the reasons is the lack of body checking here in the women's game. There's less conflict, less emotional tussles, if you will, arguments, and in turn, game delays. There's also way less penalties being called because there's, when you take the body checking element out of the game. So there is the women's game. It's great when you want to watch ice hockey without checking. It's more about the players' skills, the strategies, the tactics, and the way the game is actually played without all that hitting going on. And compared to the men's game, the women's game is a little slower. It makes it great. Spectator sports. For people who aren't really familiar with the sport, the action is a little slower. It's easier to track the puck. At least that's what my wife told me. And I think she must be right. It has to be right. Always right. Under a minute to go, 41 seconds to be exact. New Zealand going in on their left side. Kelly Nelson. Here's Nesterenko. Skorokot in the center. 20 more seconds to go. Puck bounce around the rink, and we have a stoppage as the linesperson signaled the puck went out of bounds. Face-off's going to be in the New Zealand zone with 17 seconds to go. Shots on goals, 16-9 in favor of Ukraine. Around midway point of the opening period, it was a lot closer, but for the last 10 minutes or so, Ukraine just pulled ahead. And the scores, we have a penalty. And as the period ended, there's a hooking penalty against New Zealand, I presume. It's going to be on number 4. She doesn't have to go into the box, but the name is going to be on the board for 2 minutes. Number 4, Anna Cross for a hook. After the first period, the score is 3-1. We'll take a short break, and we'll bring you period number 2 right after this. We welcome you back to DB Ice Rink in Hong Kong, China, and we have the second period underway. Right now, 3-1 to score. Ukraine leading New Zealand by 2 goals. At the end of the first period, New Zealand has a penalty called, and Ukraine is now enjoying a 2-minute power play over New Zealand for 2 minutes. In the box number 4, Hannah Cross. Here is Ukraine with the shot, and there's a goal. Manchek with a cross-light feed right in front of the goal crease, and that's 4-1. It's a power play goal. And there's a quick tap in to the open net. That's 4-1. Ukraine with the goal. Early goal in the second period, and that really sets the tone for the game. As Ukraine has a 3-goal lead now over New Zealand. New Zealand now with the puck, Cross. Good long shot, this one blocked. Tries to center it in front of the goal. Bill Hahn made the save, and here is a tussle in front of the net with a couple of players pulling and hooking each other. Referee Cynthia Command was right there and decided not to call any penalties on anybody. When we look at last year, Ukraine finished 3rd in standings, just 2 points behind New Zealand, who finished 2nd. So these teams, 2nd and 3rd place finishers from last year's tournament. Australia winning the tournament outright and earning promotion to Division 2A. Ukraine won yesterday's game over Mexico, and they're aiming to win 2 games in a row to secure a better position going down the stretch in the tournament. And while New Zealand, as the silver medalists from last year, they lost the game yesterday to Hong Kong, China, they are certainly wanting to come back with a win here today. As I would imagine, finishing 2nd last year, they should be coming to this year looking for promotion. So not the best start for New Zealand. And according to my internet search, New Zealand, out of the 6 teams, has the longest travel distance and the longest travel time among all the 6 teams. Even though when you look at Hong Kong and New Zealand, you can probably see New Zealand on the same side of the globe. But they're down in the southern hemisphere, and traveling between Hong Kong and New Zealand is actually a very, very long distance. So fatigue can be a factor for New Zealand. As we look forward to the 3rd period and see if their endurance level would be affected by the traveling. And also, I've also heard in Ukraine, they're one of the first teams to arrive here in Hong Kong to prepare for the tournament. And obviously for these players, they do come over from all over around the world. And being here early, you get an advantage to accustom to the weather, the climate of Hong Kong, among all things. the food, the jet lag. These are things that happens with every single tournament. Especially for Ukraine, seeing a team here with other players. I think the IIHF has done a great job supporting the team. Looking around the rink, we do have a lot of fans supporting the Ukrainian team, not just from the Ukrainian families and friends traveling along with the team. There seems to be quite a good number of local fans. You're just out here to support Ukraine. You see a lot of Asian faces, Chinese faces. And there's another goal for Ukraine, just to add to their goals. Behind the net, breaks it out, fools everyone, including the goalie. The goalie was looking the other way, expecting the player to come out, wrapping around from the other side of the net. But very smart play, dishing the puck out just before the player moved to the other side of the net, leaving the net wide open for the bang in. 5-1 Ukraine is the score. Here's another goal. And it's 6-1. Long shot. This was probably tipped or deflected for one of the New Zealand defenders. And take a look at the shot again. No, it went clean, but it was a really nicely placed shot, just hitting the inside of the corner of the net, and that's 6-1. And now New Zealand has a huge mountain to climb, as Ukraine leads the game by 5 goals. Ukraine has to be playing with a lot of confidence now, as they've been able to score multiple quick goals. New Zealand still riding with their starting goalie today, Brianne Bick, number 20. And honestly, some of the goals scored today, just can't fault the goalie. And I don't think you can fault the defenders for some of those goals as well. It's just that Ukraine's play is so beautiful. Those are just nice goals. And sometimes you just have to admit that's a nice goal and then get on with the game. But right now, the most important thing for New Zealand is not to panic. Keep calm and play the usual game and believe in the training you've had over the past months and years. And also remembering what the coaches are telling you, keep your ear out for whatever the coaches are telling you from the bench right now. I think that's one of the best things you can do as a player on the New Zealand squad now. Here's Manchuk with another goal. (7-1) Ukraine. It's Szymanska with a shot huge rebound, finds Manchak on the other side, unchecked. Now this you can blame the defenders. Or one of the forwards for leaving Manchak all alone by herself in that position. You just can't leave the top scorer of the other team like that, unchecked and the mark. And with all that time, Manchak could have spent a little more time aiming, but she was just so good. She automatically knows where to put the puck. And finds the net. 7-1 Ukraine. Ukraine tries to come back for more. Horner Pascal dumps it in. Number 5 Verno gives chase. Ukraine comes out with it. Here's a 2-on-2 opportunity for Ukraine. Not enough room to pass, so she decides to go down deep behind the net. Kirichenko keeps it in the zone. Long shot blocked. Ukraine with a rebound. Bedmendenko. Manchak. Long shot. This one finds the goalie. She clutched it in. Held it on for a face-off in their own zone. Ukrainian fans cheering for their team for sure. And the New Zealand crowd is now all silent. Here's New Zealand, number 7, Anjari Mulari. Stops, spins around. Sharp angle shot. Vilhan with the save. .12 and a half to go in a period. Ukraine with 7 goals scored already in this game. And we're not even halfway through the game. Mulari in front of the net. A bit of a scramble there, rebounded by New Zealand and quickly stripped away by Ukraine. Here's another shot, saved by the goalie. Goalie lost her stick momentarily. Now gets it back with another long shot, this one wide. New Zealand mounting some comebacks here, but now we have Ukraine with a breakaway chance on the right side. Going in, nice pass, just barely missing their player, number 15, Nestorenko. What a chance there. Now here's Rosa. Moves it up for Alipova. Mulari for New Zealand coming in with a long shot, steered aside by the goalie, Vilhan. Crash along the sideboards, puck ends up in the New Zealand zone. Nestorenko with the shot again, this one deflected back into the net. Behind the net, Alipova with the chase, and now New Zealand goes after the puck, but Ukraine able to shoot it down at the goalie again. The second period, it's all Ukraine. Lopatina with a shot. This one wide behind the net, chips it up front. Almost finds Liskovic. Alipova. It's Mailova. New Zealand trying to push the rush. With a bump. Lopatina with a shot. Big, huge rebound picked up by Goodman. Goodman on the right side. Cheered on by the fans, and now we have an arm up by the referee, Cynthia Carmen. And a penalty against Ukraine. Number 18, Ismailova in the box, and the referee having a quick chat with the linespersons, and it's a tripping call. There has to be, apparently there's something dropped piece of debris. Linespersons today, Daniela Egger and Amy Cages. Corner Pascal. Sideways. Nice shot by Nelson. Blocked by Ukraine. The New Zealand power play. Caitlin Hoyer. Hoyer spins around. The forecheck by Kozub. Relentless. Kozub lost her stick. Tries to grab one from the bench. Decided to get into the bench anyway. Here's a great shot by Pascal, Honor Pascal. Goalie made a great save. Cleared it down the ice. New Zealand, Pascal, Horner Pascal. Gets it to Hoyer on the left side. Under a minute to go in the power play. Ukraine clears it down the ice. Gave the puck away in their own zone, New Zealand. In front of the net, Ukraine. Nice, almost scores. Great defending from New Zealand. Great effort. Malari on the left side. Four players, 5 players coming out with the puck is Ukraine. Great tries to fire it down the ice, blocked by New Zealand. 15 more seconds in the power play. Here's a goal shot and saved by the goalie. Here's another look at a previous save, not the one we saw just now, but nothing went on in that screen. Here's an invalid face-off. 12 seconds to go in a power play. New Zealand on the blue line. Rebecca Lilly moves in, decided not to shoot, and we have a whistle. We have a player, attacking player in the crease, impeding the goalie's movements, and the referee, Cynthia Kaman, signal face-off out of the zone. And that would certainly mean that's the end of the power play for New Zealand. So just 3 more seconds on the clock. And Ismail over is back out, joins the attack with a shot. Brienne Bick had to save. And they're still down by 6 goals. Another save by Brienne Bick. New Zealand really strong. Nestorenko skates around with great speed. The amount of speed, personal skills of the Ukraine squad seems to be overpowering the New Zealand squad. Shots on goal is now 32-14 in favor of Ukraine. They've really pushed it in the second period. They continue to lead in almost every single department of the game except for face-offs, where New Zealand still has the advantage. Now face-off in the New Zealand zone with 7:54 remaining in the second. Now we have a short pause as the referee signals the New Zealand bench about a player short on ice. Ukraine with a face-off win, quickly stripped away by Malari. Malari on the right side, dumps it in, took a hit into the boards. Lopatina with the puck, sends it to the right, moving forward, pressing it into the attacking zone, and now New Zealand goes the other way. Malari, one of the better players for New Zealand this game, with a lot of zone entries. Lopatina still on the right flank, hanging on to the puck to Ismailova. Number 12, Henrik, sends it along the boards onto the right side of their defensive zone. And Malari, the captain, joined by Hope Gregory. Now the puck is in the corner, sent out there, and it's going to be an icing call against New Zealand. Can it beat it out? No, they can't. No changes for New Zealand, as they were called icing. Play skipped into the neutral zone. The entire Ukraine team had to exit the attacking zone to clear offside. Shimenska. Finds Kozub, and now stripped away by number 21, Hannah Shields. Ukraine dumps it in. Hemrick's first to the puck. Finds Gabby Mills. But it's the neutral zone play that gave New Zealand all these sorts of troubles. It's a lacking of a good first pass out of their own zone. And with that great first pass missing from their team, that makes connecting the play or converting the defensive play and offensive play that much more harder in the neutral zone. Long shot, this one rebound, missed the net, and here comes New Zealand, and again that's the missing first pass they needed so badly. They're carrying the puck out of their own zone, they're taking the puck out of their own zone, but they're not hitting their targets in the neutral zone. So they can't change as much as they wanted. They're always pinned down in their own zone. And they can't get the puck into the defensive zone. So even though they do have a lot of firing power, it's just not happening right now because the play wasn't in the attacking zone. And whenever they're up in the attacking zone, they're fighting to gain possession and waiting for teammates to get in position. And that's really hard to fix when you are up against a high-powered Ukrainian team like we're seeing right now. Look at the skills they have in front of the net, some shoving going on. And it's the goalie who's making the save. little over 4.5 minutes to go in the second. 7-1 to score. Shot chipped way up high, still in play. Centering pass to Skorotkod. Nesterenko tries to skip past with defender. Now here's Kipria. Corner Pascal, unable to get it out of their own zone. Chasing after the puck is Nesterenko with the speed. First to the puck, Nesterenko looking for options. Back to Rozok with a long shot, this one's saved, rebound. Broken up by New Zealand. Here's another quick shot, backhander by number 10, Skorotkod. Beautiful play by Ukraine. Face up in the New Zealand zone. Here's a good rush, 2-1-2. But the player was steered all the way to the right side of the boards. Unable to make the pass. That's good defense by Ukraine. New Zealand sent it down deep. Hanging on to the puck is Gabby Mills, number 2. Mills, again, behind the net, spins around, tries to get it out into the slot area, but pestered by 2 yellow shirts. The puck is back into the neutral zone. Great passing there. Hannah Shields backhands it. The puck moves forward, down deep into the Ukrainian zone. 3 minutes remaining in the period. 7-1 still the score. Ukraine gets it in. New Zealand gains possession. Spins around is number 10, Ashley Richmond. Here's number 7, Mulari. Mulari, centering pass with a shot, almost gets it. Cheers from both sides of the bench. Ukrainians cheering for the goalie, New Zealand's cheering about the shot. Cross. Off the boards. Chance for New Zealand. Sends it down to the right side to Mulari. Mulari gives chase, not the most accurate pass. But good hustle play by Mulari. Corner pass, number 23, Mayfield. Brings the puck back into the neutral zone. And New Zealand offside. Caitlin Hoya. Hannah Cross. Out of the zone. Chance again for New Zealand. Hoyer. A minute and a half to go. Very aggressive forechecking by Ukraine. 2 yellow shirts. Tries to sandwich. Here's Manchuk with a shot. Great save by the goalie. Brienne Big challenges very far out, shutting down the angles available for Manchak. Telehina. We've got Mendenko on the right of Kirichenko with a long shot. This one blocked, deflected into the backboards. Final minute of the period. 7-1 goal. Kirichenko with the chase. Behind her, number 6, Liani Goodman. Fires it down the ice. Manchak. Here's Simirenko with the shot. Manchak with the puck. 40 seconds to go in the period. Manchak to Kirichenko. Fans on the puck. Chirimenko. Long shot. Goalie made a great save. 30 seconds to go. New Zealand unable to get the puck out of their own zone. Still 22 seconds to go. Symerenko from behind the net. Dumps it back down deep for Telehina. Centering pass and one more goal just before the period ends. 8-1 Ukraine. How do you stop this high-powered Ukraine offense? Very hard. They got speed, they got agility, they got skills. Always in the right positions. And they dance around with the puck in the offensive zone. Makes for the defenders very hard. Makes for a very hard opponent to defend. And that's the buzzer. 8-1 to score. Take a short break. We'll bring you period number 3 in a few minutes. Welcome back to Discovery Bay and Hong Kong, China. The second game of today between Ukraine and New Zealand. After two periods, Ukraine has a commanding 7-goal lead over New Zealand. After 2 periods of play, shot on goals 40-16. Ukraine with the obvious advantage. And there has been a goalie change for Ukraine. They've pulled Julia Vilhan, and in place is their backup goalie, number 1, Anna Karkivska. Karkivska, one of the younger players on the team. A small goalie in terms of size, just 5'1", 155 centimeters tall. And with shorter goalies, you're not necessarily losing a lot of, you're not necessarily at a disadvantage. Of course, you lose some size, but with a smaller goalie, you do gain in agility, the sideways, the lateral speed. Also, the lower center of gravity makes for a very good skill set to have. As long as the goalie, or shorter, smaller goalie like Anna Karkivska, it's important for the goalie to play all the positions right, to challenge out as far as you can, and utilize your speed that you can move laterally quicker than bigger, taller goalies. You just have to be sure when you play the puck, you have to challenge. You have to come out and shut down all the angles, especially the top corners, because in this level of play, Division 2B, a lot of players can shoot, well, most players can hit those top corners pretty consistently. We'll see how Anna Karkivska does in her first game this tournament. Referee Cynthia Carmon took a jab onto her ribs, I believe. It's a hit. A player ran into the referee, and now the referees keep being checked by the Ukraine team doctor. Kania Sekretna. Well, some magic spray. The doctor must have cleared her for any fractures. Otherwise, she wouldn't have just sprayed her with some magical spray and let her go on with her officiating duties. Let's hope she's going to be okay. Ukraine still up by 7 goals and leading in terms of shots on goals. New Zealand still out have the first save for Anna Karkivska. And this replay is for her. Face-off win by New Zealand with a long shot deflected by number 22, Sophia Kutor. Ukraine obviously resting their top players with a score 8-1. And players further down the lineup in the third or fourth line is getting more ice time. It's going to get more ice time in the third period. We saw Sophia Kutor and the goalie Anna Karkivska. Kutor, Lopatina, Alipova on the right side. Lopatina to Butor. Good pass. Tips it into the forward, into the attacking zone for Kane. Manfield sends it. The goalie made a save, steers it to the side. New Zealand goalie number 20, Brienne Bick, having a tough job here today. She has to be facing a very high-powered Ukrainian team. The net coach Mike Sam decides to leave her in net, Brienne Bick. Rebecca Lilly. Walls or Oisior sends it up. Stolen by Simirenko. Here comes Telihina. Telihina with Manchak on the far post. Telihina to Manchak. Manchak spins around, shoots. Rebound cleared away by New Zealand. 15 minutes to go in the third. New Zealand fans cheering on for the New Zealand players. Shoots, goalie made the save. Goodman intercepts, sends it back in. Ukraine gives chase, beats out the icing call, trips up by her own self. New Zealand goes the other way. Unable to get it out from their own zone. New Zealand plays the body. Long shot through traffic. Puck made a few bounces, made it through. Manchak gave a hit. And a shot as well. Now New Zealand goes the other way. Number 22, Nelson with a shot. Held on by the goalie Anna Karkivska. .10 remaining in the third period. Rink. Nestorenko. To number 10, Skorokov. Chance in front of the net. New Zealand dumps it back out into the neutral zone. Rozov passes it to the left side. Crashing into the net is Korokov. To Nestorenko. Rozov. But bounce off a New Zealand, bounce off the New Zealand bench. Nestorenko circling around. Leaves it for Rozov. Rozov behind the net. Still circling. Now decides to turn around and shoot. Now she gave the puck away to New Zealand. But Rozov took the puck by herself, sent it to Skorotka with a shot. Still 8-1, 13 minutes remaining in the third period. New Zealand, Mulari on the right side of the shot. Goalie made the save. That save gained applause from the Ukrainian crowd. Ismailova. Alipova. To Couture. Alipova took a hit in center ice. Picks up her own stick and gets on with it. Tough player. Couture to Alipova. No icing, waved off by the back linesperson. A little over 12 minutes to go in the game. 8-1 Ukraine. New Zealand chipped it out. Picking up the puck is Liskovskic. Lopatina. To Alipova. Play was onside, but quickly New Zealand put it out into the neutral zone. Szymanska. Alipova with a shot. Left down by Hannah Cross. Yanni Goodman sends it up forward. Maria Koza. Mayfield sends it to Maria Koza with a long shot. The shot went out of bounds and face up in the New Zealand zone. Referee talking to Hannah Cross for a second there for reasons unknown. Face up in the New Zealand zone with a little over 11 minutes to go in the game. Another interception in this neutral zone by Ukraine. Playmaking of New Zealand in the neutral zone continues to be a problem. They're unable to generate enough momentum for the offense. Because the Ukrainians made it so hard for the New Zealanders to make the play through the neutral zone. 10 more minutes of the game to play. Huge hit by Horner Pascal as she goes into their own bench for a change. Pace of the entire game slows down a little bit at this point in the third period. But not for Hope Gregory. She tries hard from the start to finish. Is Malari, Kipria, Nesterenko. Nesterenko with a shot, this one wide. Rozak in front of the net, diving shot. Brienne with the save, and now Malari with a 2-on-1 situation. Malari shoots, mask save, wow. Korkivska with a mask save. Rather the shot hit her mask. One of those things. If I were playing, it would have been the puck hitting my mask. But it doesn't look like that. It looks she went on to save the puck with her mask. Brave young woman we're seeing here. I would never have done that. I know I should, but I won't. Lopatina. Nalipova. Buchanan cross, and we have a whistle. A little under 9 minutes to go in the game. 8-1 the score. Ukraine is very likely to go on to win this game in a dominating fashion. A win here will catapult them into first place for now. And one of the key things that happened during this tournament was Mexico losing their game to Ukraine yesterday. And that puts Ukraine in a very good position to gain promotion in this division. Because if by chance Ukraine and Mexico ties in a number of points in a two-way tie at the end of the tournament, Ukraine would be holding the head-to-head tiebreaker. And Mexico right now with a win and a loss, 3 points, ranked number 4 among all 6 teams. And tonight, Hong Kong versus Lithuania. Another save by Kharkivska, as 2 New Zealanders alone in front of the goalie tries to jam it in, but Kharkivska held her footing. Here's New Zealand with a goal. Finally, another goal by New Zealand. And when you look at it, you just have to wonder, where were the defenders? They left Kelly Nelson all alone on the far post. And it's 8-2 Ukraine. Seven more minutes to go in this game. 6-goal game. Maybe I spoke too early. There is still a chance for New Zealand to come back in this game. Time-wise, they do have enough time to do it. A little under 7 minutes to go, but again, if they want to do something, they have to do it now, and better start now. Goal by Nelson sparked a glimmer of hope for New Zealand. I certainly hope they are here to prove me wrong, and they continue to fight. Great interception by Hannah Shields. In terms, she gave it away. Telehina the other way. Telehina shoots wide. And play is offside. And New Zealand brings it up front. Hannah Shields, after a long shift, because she's fatigued. Good save by Brianne Bick. Ukraine catching New Zealand on a slow change. Shoots, goalie made the save. 5:30 to go. Kelly Nelson forces her way through. Nelson. Still Nelson. Move pass first. Backhands it. Diving block by Ukraine. A little flash there by number 4, Vladimira Vedmetenko. And at this point, the referees are probably going to let the play go unless something catastrophic happens. Now under 5 more minutes to go, 6 goals to catch up for New Zealand. In tonight's game at 7:30 local time, Hong Kong, China plays Lithuania. Both teams won their opening games yesterday, and honestly both wins are a little surprising when you factor in their world standings and their finishing and the positioning placement last year. Right now Hong Kong and Lithuania both with 1 win securing 3 points from yesterday's game. Kipria to Timirenko. Here he is. Nestorenko with a save by the goalie. Players down along the boards. And I think they're going to get up fine. Look how far out. Ran big challenges out, and she makes a great pad save with her left leg. A little over 4 minutes to go. And New Zealand fans chanting on for the Ice Ferns, the nickname for this New Zealand team. Liskovic tries to jam the puck through the New Zealand defenders. Couture gives chase. Great hustle by New Zealand. Turns around. Almost able to get it back. And now Ismailova on the left side. Taking the center lane, it's Alipova. Goodman. To Lopatina. To Couture. Alipova. Oh, good play by number 22, Kelly Nelson. She lost her balance. Under 3 minutes to go in the game. Maifeld to Nestorenko. Rohanova, first time I've seen her today. Number 6, 5'6" forward, placed in Italy in Real Torino. Final 2 minutes of the game. Number 10, Ashley Richmond sends it in for Emma Kloss, number 16. Maifeld takes the puck, nice move there, sends it out, tries to send it to Fensovic. Also one of the lower ranked players on the Ukrainian squad. We don't see her quite often. Great time for the coach to with these players a little more experience and ice time. Zimirenko on the right side. She had a great game yesterday, but today I think it's all Manchuk. Final minute of the game. Telehina to Kirichenko. What a great win for Ukraine. And the win gives them a great chance to challenge for the gold medal in this tournament. After this game, they will have 2 wins in 2 games. And they've already faced Mexico and New Zealand, arguably the 2 top favorite teams in this division. Mexico being the #1 seed, as they were the team relegated from the upper division, and New Zealand, the silver medalist from last season. And 8-2 is the final score. In the unofficial standings, Ukraine with the win moves into first place with 2 wins in 2 games, 6 points. Hong Kong, China in second place with 1 win, 3 points, and Lithuania in third place. And these 2 teams do play each other at 7:30 local time. And New Zealand, with the loss, they drop down to the bottom at 6th place. And Belgium and New Zealand right now, if you just look at the standings, looks like the teams that might have to battle to stay in the division. Although New Zealand is a very highly ranked team in the IIHF standings. And tomorrow, New Zealand plays Lithuania in the first, not tomorrow, but Thursday. Lithuania plays the first game against New Zealand, and Ukraine plays Belgium at 4:30, and that's going to be on April the 2nd. That's day 4. Tomorrow, everyone gets a break, including myself. And now let's take a look at who gets the best players of each game. Number 7 for New Zealand, Anjali Mulari. I do think it's a very good choice. She's the creator of a lot of offenses. She generates a lot of shots, and a genuinely good player for the squad. There are also many other players who's deserving to win the prize, but I think Mulari, you just can't go wrong with her. And for Ukraine, the best player, number 17, Polina Telehina. She's your best player for the Ukrainian squad today. Happy team for Ukraine as they finish day 2 of the tournament with a bang. 6 points. The first team to have 2 wins in this tournament. Now let's all get ready for the national anthem for Ukraine. And congratulations to Ukraine. I wish both teams good luck for the rest of the tournament. They will have a break tomorrow in day 3. Well, we'll take a break, but these teams are back on the ice for practices, I believe. And do remember, we still have a game tonight, 7:30 local time, Hong Kong, China versus Lithuania. See you there, and goodbye.
WWIIB